Hey, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Hattie, her daughter. And my mom has the
Dyslexia Mom Life podcast.
Actually kind of hard with dyslexia, but my mom's podcast helps new parents. Please listen to the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast.
I'm your host, Nicole Holcomb, a mom just like you raising a daughter with dyslexia. I also have 20 years of experience as an educator, school counselor, school district administrator, and an attorney. I can't wait to share conversations with you about parenting children with dyslexia. This is the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast. Today we have a special guest for our podcast. You are going to love her. Her name is Hattie, and she happens to be my favorite person, my daughter. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like to have dyslexia. Say hello, Hattie.
Hi.
Can you tell my audience how old you are and what grade you're going in?
I am 9 years old, and I am going into 4th grade.
Wow, 4th grade. That's so exciting. Well, today we thought we would talk a little bit about dyslexia from a student's perspective, especially from a daughter's perspective as far as what parents need to know. So, Hattie, if there was one thing you would want parents to know about dyslexia to help their children, what would it be?
That's a hard question, but probably, as my perspective, it's okay if your kid, it's hard for them to read books, but maybe it would be easier if you help them read. So they will start learning how to read or go to get a school that specializes dyslexia. What are some of the other schools? I have no idea.
That's a great question, Hattie. So lots of times, or not lots of times, but in many of the cities and towns, there are schools that specialize in dyslexia. And so we're going to have a podcast dedicated to making a school choice later on in our season. But right now, what we're really talking about is looking at how do you make a choice as far as what is the best school. And so there are many schools that we live in Georgia, we live in Atlanta, and so there are many schools here that either they have a program within a private school or they have a specialty school. So Hattie is at a specialty school. It is what they call an immersion school. So every teacher in the building is taught how to teach students with dyslexia, and so they all are using the same strategies so that she's successful. So, Hattie, can you tell the listeners what's been different about, this is her going in her 3rd year, what has been different about this school than your last school?
They are helping me learn how to read at my own pace, and sometimes it's hard for me to do like subjects.
What is your favorite thing about the school you go to now?
Probably then that you're not one of the only ones who have dyslexia. I feel like you are kind of like alone because everybody at the school has dyslexia. So it just makes you kind of feel more comfortable. So everybody knows what you're going through.
That is great. Let me ask you another question. If a mom has their dyslexic child listen to this podcast and they wanted them to hear from you, what would you want to tell another student who's just found out they're dyslexic?
Even though it kind of seems scary, it will start to get easier when you get taught how to do it your way.
Good. You weren't sure about that one. That's okay. Right. So what question do you want to ask me? Do you have a question for me?
In a mom's point of view, how scary was it to 1 to 10? They're 10.
Wow, that's a great question. And just so you know, we did not write these questions ahead of time. I would say it is at least a 10 plus. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because you want to do what's best for your daughter or your son, and you want to give them the best school and the best experience. And so it's a little scary because you're not always sure what the best thing is to do. Like when we moved you to this new school, we weren't sure if it was the right thing, but we visited and thought it was. So from a mom's perspective, we're not always sure we're getting it right. And so we need you to let us know when we're not. But yeah, it can be pretty scary at the beginning. What about for you?
It was kind of scary, but I trust my mom's decision, and I think my school that I am in is better for me. Well, and my mom, I was taking a tour through one school, they didn't even bother to say hi or anything like that. So she was just looking at the kids doing their usual day stuff. But at my school, the kids and the teachers stop what they're doing and introduce themselves. That is just sweet. So I think that is pretty nice about my school, and I like my school.
That's very nice. If you had to say, what do you feel like is the easiest thing for you as far as being dyslexic? Is there something you do really easily?
Well, when you're dyslexic, like reading is hard, but sometimes, art could be your favorite subject, or you like doing it easier. But for me, math is easier for me.
Okay. And I know
And science.
Oh, and science, yes, of course. I know our listeners might be interested. And you said you're 9 years old, right?
Right.
Do you already know what you want to do for a job?
I will probably be a chemist or be a singer.
Awesome. Is there anything else you can think of that I should ask you?
I don't think so.
If you had to give some advice, if we were going to leave them with a little bit of advice for the moms, what advice would you give moms to how we could better help our kiddos?
Well, sometimes it's kind of hard. You don't really know what to do. But whatever you think will be right, and you think it's right, that your kid agrees with you, then that's probably right.
And what would you tell students that are just learned that they're dyslexic? What would you say to be encouraging for them?
Well, I hope you will find a good school for you, and if it's like the beginning or end of the school, or like kind of the middle of the school year, you may go to speech
Or tutoring?
to help you. But I think once you're done with that school year, I think you should tell your parents or ask your parents to let you go to a school for dyslexia.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being my guest. This is very special to have Hattie on our show today. And we just want moms to know that we're here for you and we're here for your kiddos. And we are so excited to be part of your journey. Hattie, is there anything you want to say?
Yes. Dogs and cats are taking over the world.
Oh my, you heard it from her directly right here in our living room. Dogs and cats are taking over the world.
Not really, that's just a joke.
Oh, okay. She has good jokes too, in case you're wondering. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you real soon.